Hi, thanks for taking the time to watch this video to learn about the first year experience curriculum. When you open your Blackboard site, you're going to notice that it is populated with content. This video is to explain how the content works and how you can best prepare for your classes. Some general tips are to be sure to block out time to prep and to work at least 1 week ahead of your students so that you'll be fully prepared for class. The pre-class materials may need to be printed and distributed the class session before you plan to lecture, so you'll want to be really familiar with what's coming up so that you can give the students what they need to prepare for class. So when you open your Blackboard site, you're going to see an announcement. It says welcome to class, and this is an announcement that's intended to be for your students, and it just explains where they can find the content and to go to syllabus and other information to find the pertinent documents such as the syllabus and the course schedule. You can add to this announcement, you can create new announcements, it's up to you, but this was just placed there for your convenience. So let's go to syllabus and other course information to talk about the structure of this course. One thing you're going to notice is that there's purple text throughout the Blackboard site. This is text that is contextual information for you, the instructor. And the items that have purple text are not available to students by default. And these are the items that you have to go in and read the directions, follow them, and then when the item is ready, you make the area available to students. So the first item is the course syllabus. And you can see that the syllabus is built for you, but that there are some things that you have to adjust and add, like your section number, CRN, start date. Also, there are items highlighted in yellow that you have to change the date. For instance, there's a service learning activity and you have to put your dates in and your information. You have to put in your information for academic campus services dependent on the campus you're in. So you download the syllabus, you update it with all of your information. And then when you're done, you edit the item and you delete the current template and add your own and make the item available. The next item on the list is the course schedule template. But before we talk about the template, we need to talk a little bit about content. And it would help if you would look at your document titled First Year Experience Schedule and Point Values. If you don't have this, you can contact Lori Coggins for a copy. On this list, there are 13 different lists. On this list, there's 13 modules that that are required in this course. And it tells you how many class sessions are needed to cover the modules. So for example, advising is 2 class sessions. Now this is predicated on the 16-week semester for a class that meets 2 times a week. So if your class is different than that, you'll have to change this proportionally. Attendance is just something that you do. It's worth 50 points, and there are no class sessions. Career exploration takes 1 class section. The introduction is a partial session, just 30 minutes. Diversity is 1 plus 1 partial, so it's 1.5. And so anyway, that is how you know how to schedule. So it also tells you on this document how many points are possible for the module and what the assignments are that go with it. So this information is going to help you when you get to the schedule. So the next item in the syllabus and other information area is the course schedule template. And again, you'll see purple text, so this is for you. The item is not available to students, and it's telling you to download the document, fill in the dates for your class meetings, and move any of the scheduled topics as needed to fit your specific schedule. And let's look at that. Here is your schedule example, and you'll see that you've got a place where you can put in your dates, your specific dates. Remember that this is predicated on the 16-week class that meets 2 times a week, and you may have to adjust these if your class has a once-a-week meeting time or another type of, maybe if it's an 8-week and it meets longer, then you're going to have to do some proportioning and adjust. You'll have the topics and modules, the pre-class activities, and the homework. So this is your schedule for your students. Now, there are some things that require a classroom, such as the TCC Technology module. You will get a note from Lori Coggins or from her office that will tell you when a computer classroom is scheduled for you. And the reason for that is that there are only so many computer classrooms, and there are a lot of first-year experience sections, and so everybody can't be teaching that module on the same day at the same time. And some people will have to shift to a different day. Also, advisors come in, and again, there are only so many advisors, and so there's going to have to be some shifting, but you'll get information about when your advising session and when your technology session is scheduled, and you will just adjust your schedule to and build around that. So after you make your schedule, you are going to save it, and you can copy and paste it at the end of the syllabus, and you might want to consider making the schedule just a copy of your schedule and leaving it in this schedule area for students who might want to just print the schedule rather than the whole syllabus. So up to you on how you do that. So the next thing we're going to look at is these content modules. And you'll see that there are the 13 modules that we talked about. The first one is the course introduction, and that's at the top because we assume that everybody will be doing that first. And then each of the modules is listed by alphabetical order. One thing I did not mention was that there is one module for you where it's instructor choice, and this was on your first year experience schedule and points value down at the bottom. You have discretion of the instructor, and you have 100 points. So there might be something that you feel like you want to do in more depth, or you have something that's not on the schedule. And this is, you have 3 classes plus 2 partials to do other or related assignments or deeper assignments, and you will assign 100 points to those assignments. So, so that's where the modules are. Inside of each of the modules, you're going to find that the first item is what's called instructor resources. These will not be available to students, and you won't make them available to students. But inside of instructor resources, you're going to find that you have a course introduction, or you have a module plan. This one's called course introduction, but each of them will be called by whatever the content is. And then you'll have all the material that you need for the lesson inside of here. A lot of it is duplicated with what the students see, but everything that you need is inside of instructor resources. Okay, so let's take a deeper look at how the first year experience schedule and point values works when looking at Blackboard. On the schedule and point values, you see that career exploration is a module that has 1 class session and 55 points possible. And those 55 points come from the type focus assessment results and the reflection. So in your Blackboard module, you've got your instructor resources. They have a pre-class activity. two pre-class activities, actually 3 pre-class activities that they do before they come. And then they have an in-class student introduction presentation, and they actually do their survey and go through the survey results. And that participating in that is worth the 25 points, and then they have a homework that's a reflection for 30 points. And so that is how the points are derived and align with what is in Blackboard. You can also see that the student schedule aligns with the content modules. For instance, you begin with the topic or module course introduction, and there's a folder for course introduction. TCC service learning, if you scroll down, you find service learning, TCC technology. So you can see that the students should easily be able to find their materials by looking at their schedule and then finding the module in Blackboard. Okay, you may be wondering about how students will submit work. We have made options for you. You can, if what you're used to is handing out homework and having the students print and hand you back a piece of paper, you can do that. There's a column in the gradebook, and you can just enter the scores in the gradebook. If you are somebody who likes students to submit in Blackboard, you can make the assignments available. You'll notice that all assignments are not available, but you can certainly make them available, and the directions are there. And you'll see in the purple text, it says if you want students to submit an electronic copy of their career exploration reflection assignment, you need to make the item available, and it tells you exactly how to do it. So if you decide to make this available, students will submit inside of Blackboard, and you will access the assignments in the Blackboard gradebook. And if you need any assistance with that, you can again send a note to bbsupport@tulsacc.edu and let a technologist know that you'd like to make an appointment. Let's take a look at the setup of the gradebook. Go to the Full Grade Center, Control Panel, Full Grade Center, to view the Grade Center. Your gradebook is set up with a total points possible of 900 points. This includes the 900 points that are part of the template curriculum, and you will be adding 100 points into it through your instructor choice assignments. If you go to Manage, Column Organization, you can see at a glance all of the assignments in the order that they're in, and they're listed in alphabetical order by the module name. So how this will work best is if you do not delete any columns out of the gradebook, and you just enter the grades. If you're somebody who's going to accept electronic submissions, this is where you'll go to get your submissions. They'll just you'll get an explanation point in the grade column when work needs to be graded. If you are collecting work from students in a classroom, you don't need to worry about collecting it in Blackboard. You'll just type your grades in when you're ready to enter grades. Out of the total points possible, the 1,000 points, 50 of them come from attendance, and we encourage you to use the Quickly Attendance tool. Many people are very happy with this. If you click on attendance on your course menu, you can just begin the setup, and you can work through how to set it up for those 50 points. If you need help with Quickly, click on Welcome to TCC and view the Quick Start Guide. The information is very thorough, and you already have it on your course menu, but the setup, if you'll click on that, it takes you through exactly how to set up your Quickly attendance. And again, if you have any problems with that, you might want to contact a technologist to help you out. Okay, now we're going to look specifically at the instructor resources for a content area. So I am going to pick note-taking and listening skills. And I am going to open instructor resources. There'll be instructor resources in every content area for each module, and you will, all of them will have a note-taking or a module plan for the lesson. So this, you'll open your module plan, and it would help if you would keep that in front of you while watching this video. If you do not have these, you should get with Lori Coggins and she can provide you with them, or you can download it from your Blackboard site. So you've got this overview. Students will read from the online textbook before the class period. During class, students will practice note-taking skills and compare their notes with their classmates. You are going to have some options of assigning one of 3 assignments. You'll either have them take notes in another class, take notes in a future one of your lectures, or you'll add notes, or you'll have the option of having them take notes in class and add to a class blog. Each of these 3 assignments includes a written reflection, and you have your outcomes where they're selecting a strategy for taking notes, they're taking notes that reflect the main point of the lecture, and they're reflecting on the effectiveness of the note-taking strategy. It's 1 class meeting, and it's worth 25 points. And if you look at your green schedule, you can see that aligns one class period, 25 points, and you've got 1 assignment. And on the student schedule, you can see that they are told in advance that that note-taking is here on day 6, that they're to read, that their pre-class assignments are to read the online textbook, and then that they're going to have a complete the note-taking assignment at the end, and that's their reflection. So, this particular module has no scheduling needs. You don't need a special classroom, and nobody's coming to your class to lecture. The scheduling of meetings, you can put this note-taking anywhere on your schedule, but the earlier you do it would probably be the most benefit from the students. For the students, the assignments are a pre-class reading and the note-taking assignment. So for the details, you're always going to have this pre-class activity that tells you what they need to do, and then you're going to have class prep that tells you what you need to do. And in this case, you should do the reading that the students are going to do, and you can decide if you want students to work the exercise at the end of the textbook reading. If you want them, you can have them do that if you want them to. You're going to watch the How to Take Great Notes video before class. You're going to show it during class, but you should watch it before class so that you're prepared. And then you're going to determine which of the in-class activities you're going to do. Many of the modules have multiple options, and so you are going to pick which one is going to work for you, and it's in section number 2 below. And then you're going to select the note-taking assignment you want them to use. Again, you have options. We tried to accommodate as many preferences as we could, and the assignments were hopefully you'll find one that appeals to you. So in class, you're going to review the various note-taking strategies, and there is a handout for you. It is down. Yeah, where is it? It's inside of the folder. We'll look at it in a minute. Okay, and then you're going to play the video, How to Take Great Notes. And then you're going to select one of the following activities. And so basically they're going to watch, you can do listening activities found in the instructor resource area. And you can go through, there's various videos that they can watch that they'll take notes on, and in small groups they'll compare their notes with the other students, and you can review the main points of the video. And then students will select a different strategy about how they're taking notes so that they can compare and contrast. And then you'll explain the assignment. You'll pick one of these 3 assignments, and you'll explain the assignment for them to do. as part of their homework. Okay, so looking at that in Blackboard, in your instructor area, you've got, here's your video that you're going to need, here's your different options starting at the top, here's your taking your module plan, then you go down and you've got the different options for taking notes. And you'll be picking one of those. So you'll need to review these and decide which one you like. You can make, if you need to, you'll choose one of the note-taking assignments listed above. You'll download the assignment document to your computer, making adjustments, and then you'll post it in the directions for the students. Here's your video that you'll watch before you do your lecture. Here's your listening activity options. And there are notes that you can go through on different strategies that you can, and options that you can do in class for part of your class time. And then you've got some videos for them to listen to that they'll take notes on. Then you have optional resources. These are just for your information. You might find them helpful. They are not required for you to conduct your lesson. So in the student view, let's look at what this looks like in the student view. Hopefully everybody knows you can click on that little the little eye-like thing, and you can go into your student view and see things exactly the way a student does. And here's the note-taking and listening area. And so students are seeing that they see a little bit of contextual information, their module outcomes. They get their pre-class reading assignment, note-taking, and so when they open that, they get their specific directions on what they're supposed to do before class. You can then in class you will all watch this video together, and you've got a choice of 3 different videos that they can watch in class that they'll take notes on, and you can pick which one they're going to watch. And the students also have these optional resources. So hopefully you can see that you have some choices and that you have some decisions to make about what you'll need to set up for them. Now, in the instructor view, in this same area, you have some purple text that you will need to attend to. So again, if you want them to submit their notes electronically, then you make this item available. If you want, you have to give them which directions you want for your note-taking assignment directions. So you have to decide that. If you choose that you're going to do the blog activity, then you have to make the blog available. So it is going to take you some time to work through these and to get very familiar with what you're supposed to be doing before class, during class, and what you're collecting afterwards. And that is the reason that you should be working ahead of your students, so that you have it's not you won't have to do a lot of prep, but you will have to be very familiar with it as they sort of scaffold. And if you skip a step, you could find that you are not able to conduct your lesson in the manner that you would want to. So I hope that helps you get a little bit of familiarity with how this is going to work and what you need to do to prepare. If you have any questions, Linda Brown is probably in the best position to answer any content questions, and Lori Coggins is probably and probably Deanna Cooper are in a good position to help you with general questions.